think we're streaming. Maybe. Yes, we are. But I feel like I should just have a little tap and dance number for these first couple of seconds before. There it is. Looks like it's streaming now. Okay. So, hello everyone. It is October 26th, and this is the October 26th TextQuest Dev Stream. We're on our new streaming schedule, so Monday nights are for modeling, which also includes animation. But tonight we're going to be focusing on the... Oh no. Except I made it freeze. Go figure. Tell ya, Maya knows just when I want it to crash. So, let's force reboot Maya, and then... I don't know why it does that, seriously. Really annoying. So anyway, today we're going to be focusing on, I think, finishing up the castle area, or at least the interior of it. The exterior is still a whole other thing. So, okay. And what we have left, let me turn on all of my layers, I guess, to make it a little more visible. Turn off the props layer, exterior, side room, throne room, floor, and roof layer. I think that's everything. Yeah. Okay. So what we have left is this front door. Everything in this hall. There's other stuff that's going to populate this hallway as well, but we're not actually going to model that out. It's going to be either stuff that's already modeled out and that we're going to reuse, or it's going to be stuff that is sprite-based, which will be made in Unity. Let's see. So our main area, we have the throne itself to model. In the side, the rest of the stuff's in the side room. We already have the table. That's already in Unity. We need a treasure chest. I believe our bookshelf is already done as well, I think. Let me check my props. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, well, we'll be modeling the bookshelf. Maybe we won't get through everything. I thought we had a lot less to do. The chest, the bookshelf, the throne, and the staircase for going into the sewers, as well as a lever. And I think that's basically, after that, everything else will be done. So every model that we're going to be using in this level will be finished, and everything else will just be up to actually pulling it into Unity and making it run. So after we get this modeling done, we'll start sort of having different areas that we work on throughout the week instead of everything being in the same area. So after this modeling's done, we'll probably move on to the Magma River area for modeling. Texturing will probably iterate through the current build, and then we'll eventually get to the Magma River. And then programming, of course, is going to be all over the place, probably starting in here and slowly working our way through things. But for now, the rest of this stream is going to be about modeling those individual things. And we're not going to worry about texturing them. We just want to get the actual models in there because texturing is on Tuesdays now. And that's because it's definitely enough of a thing that it deserves its own day. So for this, we're going to go ahead and start modeling the chest, which is actually, let me show you the level itself. Scenes, intro, castle quarters. I don't know if I have the chest in there right now. I probably don't. So there's our wonderful door, which I'm still working on finding a good way to do lighting for it. So this is the old version of the chest, with the old version of the room, which has terrible lighting because of the UVs being messed up. Why are you not giving me the ability to move? Oh, right. That's the other reason I'm remaking this, is because all of these props were made in a hurry, basically. So they're kind of nasty to look at. So this is our current chest. It's ugly and nasty and not very fun. So the basic shape is good, though. And we're basically going to be remaking this just with much better, with just a much better look to it. And everything's actually going to be proportional. So we can minimize this. Let's go back here. And I already started work on a chest. Let me turn off my throne room. So this is the early work that I started doing. I have the top and the bottom, but I kind of messed up when I did this just because of the way that the bridging worked between everything. So I don't know if I already got everything. Um, so there's kind of this awkward disconnect in how things are handled. And I would like to just sort of redo it today. So it's not going to be that bad. We'll just go ahead and get started. So let me rename this to be Fancy Chest Old. We'll get rid of this later on. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to just move that back in there. Make a cube, and what do I need my cube to be? Hold on. And then of course, as soon as I say that, I'm going to drag this back in here. I need to figure out what my dimensions for the oh man, I almost forgot I gotta rearrange my windows over on the left side of things because I gotta keep an eye on the chat. Anyway, so I gotta see how wide things are. So we're looking at 0.75x, which I'm guessing this is negative 0.75. Okay, so that's 1.5 wide. So if I select, really? Come on, work with me here. There we go. So it's going to be 1.5 wide. I probably can just guess 0.75. Yep, 0.75. Nice. And then everything else seems to be the same. Yep. So right there is our basic shape. That means that I can move the original chest back. Close that off. Okay. So this is our basic shape, just a cube, which is nice, makes it easy. The only thing is that we want subdivision height to be 2. And that's all I'm going to do so far. So before what I did is I set up a bunch of subdivisions, and then when I had to separate the lid from the bottom, that created some problems making bridges to try and close up the holes that were created. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make the top and the bottom right now, and then I'll go through and properly subdivide to make it easier for me to UV it. So with that in mind, I'm going to, once again, of course, move the original one out, because the original one was basically fine except for that bizarre workflow that I had. So I want to keep that shape. It'll be just fine. So we're going to move this, and I'm guessing, let me go to edge, of course, edge, edge down here. It is at 0.25. Good. Select this. We'll just move this up to 0.25y. And that means that if I go to object mode, you'll find that they are the same, which is great. So that means if I just do face, oh, that was weird. Go over here. Select my top faces. Oh, and of course it's camera based. Try that again. Okay, so I got all my top faces here. I'm going to go to Mesh and Extract. Except it's Edit Mesh, isn't it? Yep, Edit Mesh, Extract. So, boom. With that, we have two separate polygon objects, the lid and the bottom. And now we can actually start adding subdivisions. So, sorry, I had to scratch my ear. Okay. So let's see. We got 0.75, I think. Let's go ahead and do. Oh man, I keep accidentally clicking one of these objects. So right click. There should be insert edge loop. Ah, crap. Insert edge loop tool. Okay. Hit OK. Hit OK. Hit OK. And then hit OK and hit OK. So we have, basically, we will have, if we look at the old one, the way our texture worked, which is terrible because of the light mapping, so I'm just going to clear baked data so that I can see this more clearly. I could have also just turned off lighting. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, so this is our texture that we're going to be working from. And we will have a we'll have 4 parts of it that are the. I can't talk tonight, man. We're gonna have 4 separate parts for the actual metalwork, and then we'll have a central piece for the chest itself. And on the sides, of course, we'll have side and handle. So if we go back to Maya, let me select the faces. Except I can't because it doesn't want to cooperate with me. So these will basically be oh, dang it. That's why. Because I still had the edge select tool on. So these faces are going to basically be the metalwork, and the centerpiece will be our actual face that describes what the object is. So now we actually want to position these things properly so they look fine. So let's select our edge loops. And we are going to move this to, I think, negative 0.65, really. Negative 0.65, which means that this positive one is going to be 0.65. So that gives us about a 0.1 thickness. All this riveting stuff, I know. And maybe I should try talking about something other than the thing I'm literally doing in front of you guys. Although I could explain it, and then if I run out of things to talk about, actually, talk about something else, I guess. 2.75. That's good. And 0.65 again. Oh, no. Ooh, that was wrong. Right. Sorry, 0.15. There we go. So we got a 0.1 thickness on everything, basically. And we got to do it for the sides, too. So we're looking at negative 0.6. No. 0.5. So we're looking at 0.4. This is going to be negative 0.4. Sweet. So that should be everything then. And okay, good. Making sure that wasn't off center because that would have made me very sad. Okay, so now we're going to do the... not yet. We're not going to do the same thing to the top. Crap. Dang it. Hold on. I got to undo all of that because I was stupid. And, of course, I can't quite undo everything. Hooray! Delete. So, this is what happens when you forget how to do things properly. Oops. Okay, so we had a width of 1.5 and a height of 0.75. Good. Subdivisions height 2. Let's go back through. Of course, now we can do it super fast, which is nice. 0.25. Good. And now hit save, face. Select all that. Make sure we don't have the back selected, side selected. Got all the faces on the sides and front. Go ahead and do edit mesh and extract, which I can never find for some reason. Okay, so now go to object mode. That's good and that's good. So let's drag this up, drag this down, and let's select all of these edges. There should be a fill edge or fill hole right there. Bam. Nice. Okay, now let's do the same thing here. All the edges. Hole, even though I literally just did it. I don't know why I had trouble finding it. Cool. So, now we can actually go back to what we want. And, interesting. Don't know why it's not. Oh, that's why. View to 0. So now, everything's as it should be. And now we can add our subdivisions. So let's go to Edge. Shift. Insert edge loop tool. Bam. Bam. Oh, of course. Man, I can never win. Not that edge. Are you kidding me? Sometimes I get lost in my own way of doing things. It's probably not a good thing. Anyway. Let's go to object mode. Edge. 1, 2, 3, before. Don't need any on the sides for this because it's the top is the side basically. So now we can actually go to face, we can go to W, select things, go to face again. So let's go to edge, select this, and it is at negative 0.65, correct? Yep. Make this at 0.65. Nice. Of course. Go to face, or edge mode, sorry. Negative 0.65, and then positive 0.65. I'm going to be super sad if... Oh, good. I just didn't want it to not be dividing the bottom there. Just wanted to make sure. Probably should keep this moved up just in case. Okay, so let's keep going. What was this? This was at... Really? Negative 0.275, I guess. Negative 0.275. And then this was 0.15. Ah, great. I hate it when I do that. So what is it? 6? Yeah. Instead of actually typing into the field, I accidentally turned off shading mode so it doesn't show any of the textures. Okay, what was this one? Ah, 0.4. Right. And then this one was negative 0.4. Edge. 0.4, and then negative 0.4. I think that's, yeah, that's all I needed. So, hooray! We got our thing fixed really quickly, which is nice. So now our entire thing is actually... Okay. Sorry, I gotta... I drank a soda before this, and that is not a good thing to do before you do a lot of talking. Okay, so now I'm also going to get rid of my old chest. Get rid of that, because now our fancy new chest is doing everything beautifully. I am going to hit edit and delete history. That way I don't have to worry about all of that stuff that I just did. It also gets rid of ghost transforms. So I'm also going to, I should really show you guys what I'm doing. I'm going to rename my PCube2 to be Fancy Chest. Then I'm going to rename Polysurface 1 to be Chest, if I could spell chest properly, and then Polysurface 2 to be Lid. So, bam! With that, I have a nice shape. All I have to do now is, well, texture it, which we'll do tomorrow, but I do also have to animate it. So, and real quick, I'm going to go ahead and lay out the UVs, because I'm already here. So, lay that out. That's nice. Lay this out. That's nice as well. And then, of course, I'm going to select all of these. I'll show you this. So these are the UVs that I have on that shape right now. I'm going to select them all, copy UVs into new UV set, hit layout. This will be my light map. So go UV sets. And of course I like to rename the current UV set to be texture map. Hit close. So now my UV sets are texture map and my light map. And I don't know if I've explained this before, but the reason that I do the light map is because when you bring your model into Unity, it will use the UV sets to actually project both the texture and any lighting you do on it. If you bring in just a texture UV, which is UV0, it will try to use that as the light map. But if you bring in a second UV map, or it doesn't, if you bring in a second UV map, you can actually specify that as your lighting thing, which means that you can properly calculate real estate on the lighting. So this is generally used so that you can get better quality lighting because the textures don't necessarily have the best layout for lighting. And I won't go too much into detail on what makes a good light map. Suffice it to say, it basically has a lot of, you break things into flat surfaces. But that's the reason I do this whole two map system. One for the texture, which is this one, and we'll see that tomorrow, and one for the light map, which we'll see maybe tomorrow if I do some light map making too. So that's that one. That was the top. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Object mode, select this. Let's bring back that. Oh, and of course, it's all kinds of messed up. Ah, man. Super hard to change my workflow. um, so this is the UVs for the bottom. I'm going to select them all. Polygons, copy into UV set, new UV set, which I have set up to default name light map. Again, we're going to lay out. So it maps everything to give it the most space as possible. Switch back to map 1, rename current UV set, and then bam, we have our 2 UVs. Cool. So I'm going to head and minimize that. I'm going to move this back over here. Actually, I'm going to move this off screen. So now we have our 2 maps, and I'm also going to go ahead and delete history on these because I don't need to have that bogging everything down. So these 2 are ready for texturing tomorrow, and now I'm going to actually animate them. So for a chest animation, I have it's similar to doors. I have a very basic animation to make. Excuse me. Need a drink. Very basic animation to make. We are just going to go ahead and have this lid pull open and close. So we're going to start. Hit lid. So we're going to start at frame 1. Hit S to keyframe it. Move it forward 1 frame and hit S again. So this first frame is just 1 frame long, and that is its closed animation. From then on, we're going to have from 2 to 30. And that is going to have, oops, not that. Also, we're going to do some fun shenanigans here. Hit insert so that we can move our, you know what, I don't know why I don't just do this, -0.5. So we can move our pivot point, and then of course Y is going to have to be 0.25. And I don't know why it doesn't go away. But okay, so now our pivot point is right there on the edge. We're going to go press E, and I probably don't have discrete rotate on. Or maybe I do. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. Oh, look at that, I do. And I'm just going to keep it at 45 degrees. I don't necessarily want... I don't know. Will it look better at 45 or at 90? Yeah. Good God, it's a huge lid. You know what? It's probably fine if I do. I wonder if I could do. Let's try -70. It's not quite fully open. You know what? Screw it. We'll do -90. So it's fully open. That's fine. We're gonna hit S, keyframe it. Cool. We'll go to 31. Hit S again. It is now 30 to 31 is its open keyframe animation, and now we'll go all the way back down to 60 and rotate it to 0. Then hit S again. So now we have our animation. Opening, or closed, opening, open, closing. Bam. Perfect. So let's go back here. Close this. So that's our chest model. Got that done super fast and super easy. So we're going to delete history one last time. Hit save. And yeah, it's ready for texturing. So we will move it into the props layer. So the props layer has its own layer that is turned off most of the time. That way I don't have to look at these things, but I can easily toggle them. So the next thing that we can go ahead and do is, let's see, what do I want to do? Yeah, it's only been 20 minutes. Wow, got through that fast. So the next thing will be, the quarters door, unless I already have that. I might already have that. I think I already have this. Let me see if I have animation. Okay, I got animation on that. And then I don't need that. That's already done. So the next thing will be, I think I'm going to save the throne for last, just because it's kind of awkward and I haven't thought of a good texture for it yet. Alright, we're also going to be texturing these walls tomorrow. some of you might remember that I had already textured these, but I came back and I had to make some adjustments to uh, the actual model. And once you do that, it just shoots the UVs straight to hell. So I had to redo them. And now that they're redone, sort of, in the sense that they're laid out, but they're not scaled or positioned quite properly. But for now, it's fine. Um, oh, you know what might be good? The bed. So ultimately, I think I still have it over here. Nope, I don't. Right, because this is the new model. I might have the old model still. Do I? I do. Although no guarantees on what it is. Good. Okay. Let me turn off this new castle. So this is the old model for the level, and it has a bed that goes over a secret passage, and that's because that's the way out of the castle. Hint, hint, or spoiler, I guess. Not that it matters, because right now there's nobody watching. Anyway, so that is our current bed, and it was thrown together, much like everything in this level, fairly quickly for the June greenlight deadline that I had. So I just wanted to come back and redo basically all of this. So that means, what the heck? What am I selecting? There we go. So I want to keep the similar shape basically. Just have the bed and have its 4 posts for its support. That way it can rise out of the ground. And the reason I'm having this rise out of the ground like that is because it's too short for you to run under, so it teaches the player how to crouch. So yay for design choices. But we're going to basically do a very similar shape. It's going to be slightly, very, very slightly larger than this one. Just because this one, you might be able to notice some Z fighting if I hit F so that I focus on it and rotate around it. So you'll see some Z fighting here, and that's because they're pixel perfect positioning. So those faces are exactly overlapping and in the same spot. So because of that, the new bed's going to be very, very slightly larger than the whole. That way the posts don't have the Z fighting. Minimize that. Okay, let's go back here. Open up our cube. I'll open up a cube. Let's grab it. Let's move it over here for shape and positioning. This, if I remember correctly, this is negative 4.5. Oh no, that was the wrong thing. Well, no, I have no idea. Negative 9. Negative 4. Not quite. Negative 3.5. Nope. Negative 3.75. That looks right. Its width is going to be 1.5. Oh no, 2. At least 2. Okay, so we're gonna make it 2.25. That's good. I mean, this is a king's bed after all, so it's going to be a little bit more impressive anyway. This negative 9.25. Really? I think that's right. Let's make it have a depth of, there's 3. Ooh, not quite 3. Let's do 2.75. That seems to be proportional to the 0.25 that I gave on the sides. So, hooray. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit, because I don't want it to be too big. It might be too big. So let's do 2.1 and 2.6. And then let me see what this looks like. I like that a lot more. Okay. And then, of course, it's going to be a height of 0.5, I want to say. Oh god, no. 0.5 is just massive. 0.2. Too thin. 0.3. It's tolerable. It's also got to be the bed, though, is the problem. It's not just the bed stand. So maybe 0.4. That's pretty good. Yeah. Enough that you have to jump on it to get it, or to climb on top of it. So let's go ahead and make this 0.75 height. Actually, the height doesn't matter. Um, okay, so we know that that's the size of the bed. That's good. So I'm going to zero out this stuff. I just needed to get the basic shape. Go ahead and hit F. So now we're back over here. So now we need to do a couple of things. First is go ahead and add subdivisions to the height, because part of this is bed, part of this is bedstand. Then we'll go ahead and add a subdivision to the depth as well. I use that for the bed sheets, basically. So if I, oh, okay, edge. So I want to move this up to, we'll say negative 0.75. So that way this top part will be mattress and pillows. This bottom part will be the comforter, so the actual sheet of the bed. And then of course this entire bottom is going to be the bedstand. So that's nice, got our shape. Now I need to add the posts on that support it and have it rise out of the ground. So let's go ahead and add, oh, actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go to object mode, save. Let's lay out the UVs. Let's open up our UV editor again. Face, select all of these, and polygons, copy to the UV set, polygons, layout, bam, that's good. Let's go back here, and then polygons, rename. Then hit apply. Cool. Got our nice maps, texture, and light map. Let's minimize that. Go back here. Cool. Alright, so let's make another cube. Bam. Let's move it over here. We are going to also make this super tiny. Go like 0.2. Oh, I'm saying caps lock. 0.2, I think. That's pretty good. I even want to go smaller than that, actually. That's kind of big. And it's going to go basically about here. Yeah, here. Negative 0.5. Okay. So there. I kind of like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep it at 0.2, 0.2. And then I think that's also appropriate. I don't know. We might export some of this stuff into. Actually, we definitely will do that tonight. We will export these FBXs, and even though they don't have textures, that's fine. We just want to get a sense of what they look like spatially inside of Unity. So there's our first pillar. It's very simple. Let's go ahead and hit layout. We'll open up our UV mapper again. Face. Select all this. Again, copy new UV set. Polygons. Layout. Scales everything up a little bit. That's expected. Go back to map 1 and then rename current UV set. Apply. Cool. So everything's all fun, hunky-dory. Now let's make sure that this is correct. So this is translate Z as 1.2. I'm guessing. Yep. 1.2. Translating Y is probably negative 1.1. Really? So no, it was negative 1.1.5. Huh. Okay, well that was perfect. That worked out great. So now the only thing to do is one, rename my objects to be bed, and call this post. Cool. So now I'm going to Control C, Control V, except that's not how it works. It's Control D, that's right. I select this, and it is going to be at negative on. I'm going to duplicate these, basically. Let's duplicate these. Positive. And then bam! Got my 4 posts and my bed model. This is super fast and easy when we just break things into their individual components. Isn't that nice? Okay, so the next thing to do is, one, name all of these posts. I'm going to start in a clockwise formation, so the top right is going to be the first post. So I'm going to call this post A. Call this one post B. If I could spell. Call this front one post C. And our last one post D. Cool. Let's move these underneath bed. So now when I select bed, I'm selecting all of them. And then, of course, I'm going to... you know what? It's probably fine by itself. Okay. Probably should do that anyway. Normally, I can't. So normally when I'm doing this, I tend to group things under a null object. I don't know if I really like that or not. I suppose it's probably good practice, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and group this under a null object. Control-Shift-G, I think, is my shortcut. Yeah. Let's just call this castle bed. We're going to drag bed underneath there. And let's go ahead and hit W. So that's at 0. And then we're going to move bed up by 0.2, I think. Yes. And the reason I do that is because I like to have my pivot for objects in the world be at world 0, basically. So even if the chest, or even if the model is not, if its bottom isn't exactly at ground level, the new pivot point will force it to be like that. So that's our bed. It's done, which is nice. Move that into props, and actually I'm going to move fancy chest back out of props because I didn't do what I just said I did. Oh no, which is super bad because if I move it, crap. You know what? Fine. I'll just leave it as is, actually. I can reposition this stuff in Unity, so it's not terrible. But it is a little frustrating. So our castle bed and all that is set up, which is nice. And one last time on the castle bed, I'm going to go ahead and delete history. So that way I don't have to worry about any sort of odd things happening on the back end. So that is 2 models down. Man, we are on a roll. Do we want to do the bookshelf one? Probably should, because I'm going to have to retexture that anyway. So, okay. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and make our cube. Let me move this back over here. Make our cube. Cool. Let's move. Oh, I did the wrong thing. And yeah, so this is what it looks like in Unity. It is I have 2 bookshelves. Do I already have a... I think I might... I think I might already have a bookshelf object. Do I? It certainly seems like I do, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the case or not. Part of it is because this is the old one. This is the new... this is the new bookshelf. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Yeah. This is one of the first things I did with Substance, actually. Which is both great and terrible because it was really bad. Its model is probably fine, though. I just need to redo the texture. I need to redo this texture anyway. I don't think I think it's using the initial thing I did before I actually. Yeah, I know errors. Um, it was using raster-based substance as opposed to vector-based substance stuff that I do now. So I just made the image in Photoshop and put it in Substance rather than making an Illustrator pulling in the Substance with all the masks. So I'm going to have to redo that texture anyway. But for now, I won't worry about the model, I don't think. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. It's fine. If we have time later today, I'll do it. So what's left? We've got our bed, our chest. I could make a lever, but I kind of don't want to make a lever. Just because I don't know how to label the level or the levers. There's a lot of parts on levers, and it's hard to find out what their names are. It's very, very frustrating. So we might just focus on the throne. That seems to be the next thing. And we're also going to have a fairly short broadcast tonight. I don't know if this will be a short broadcast in general for Mondays, but tonight I'm feeling particularly tired. Partially because I don't get home until about 7:30 on Mondays, so I have like half an hour to decompress before 8 o'clock comes around. So maybe these might get pushed to a little bit later, or I don't know. I don't want to push it too late because then people won't watch. But so anyway, how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Well, for one, I should probably turn on my throne room layer. Okay. And I guess I could also take a look at my throne that I have right now. In all of its super glory. That's a pretty basic throne. Part of the reason that I put off doing the throne is because I wasn't sure a good way to approach it, honestly. Thrones are by definition, well, I guess not by definition, but they're expected to be this very ornate thing. It's a very beautiful piece, but all I have is this very square cube that sort of looks like a chair. I don't know if I can really do anything too advanced with it because if it gets too detailed, it becomes difficult to read. So I'm not sure. Excuse me, man. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. We might, before we get too far into that, let's go ahead and move the bed and the chest. And turn off my throne room layer. So I'm going to go ahead and hit File, Export Selection, which I don't know why I can't find that. And right now I have the fancy chest selected. I'm going to do fancy chest. Or maybe just call it chest for now, who knows. It's going to be an FBX. Export selection. Cool. Select the castle bed. Export selection. Export selection. Yes, I know it already exists. Cool. Let's go ahead and... need a drink. Whew. Let's see, castle. Great. Okay, got a bunch of stuff. I need to have better organization of this. We're gonna go ahead and make a new folder then. Bed. And let's go ahead and go to Drive. development, Unity, text quest, art, models, demo, castle. Shouldn't call this demo. It's not a demo anymore. Castle FBX. Let's drag that right in there. So, bam. The model is going to be 200 because I did scaling wrong and I was stupid. Let's close all this stuff. Let's move this in here and then let's look at it. Move this up. Ooh. That's a little big. But at the same time, barely capable of... Huh. So let's go for negative 7.5 and then 5.4? That doesn't seem right. Huh. Weird. Okay. I mean, it blocks everything, I guess, and that's what I want. I think. I want to go in the Z 5.25. No, really, 5.5. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be closer to what I want. I also need to do a 180 on it. Then, bam, yeah, that's our bed model, and that is appropriate. That is an appropriate size. So if I were to, say, add a box collider to it, save. If I were to run around, I should be able to jump onto it fairly easily once it starts playing. Should not have... Oh, yeah, okay, never mind, I got it. So that opens by default. Oh, I forgot! We set up our music! Okay, move you over here. Let's also just go ahead and turn you off. Okay, good. So, that looks nice. We can jump on here. Good. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Play. Cool. Select that, and I'm not going to worry about making it perfect right now. Let's go to folder, chest. What did I call it? I think I just called it chest, didn't I? Silver, yep, chest. It is also going to be 200. Nice. Oh, I gotta hit apply. Let's go ahead and move this. Let's see. I think it's at 1.5 or 1.75. 1.75. Move this over here. Then move it to about there. Yeah, okay. So that's correct spatially. Negative 11.25. Then negative 7.5. Okay. With that, we could actually turn off this chest. It's not really being used anymore. Okay. That's nice. I got that working. So those two models work great. Hit save. Let's minimize this. Let's go back here. Save that out. And then let's move this stuff back under the props. Cool. So, what to do? What to do here? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I want to hold off on modeling this because I want to try and get a new demo out the door by Friday of this weekend, or Friday of this week, basically. It's probably going to get postponed until next weekend. But I have a playtesting session coming up soon, and I would like to get something pretty decently done. So okay. I will hold off on the throne for now, just because I need to do a lot more research on it. I think to see what it's actually going to look like. What we can do, I don't know why I do that, is model out the stairs for descending into the sewer. So this is an interesting thing because 0.25, I guess. Except it's got to change quite a bit. So these stairs were not great in the original one because it's a very tight turn. Basically, it's basically zigzagging back and forth going down, and that's the best I could do, honestly. And I think there was a problem. Now that I look at it more, great. There was an issue with if I pull this back up. I'm going to turn on my environment. So let me turn off the new castle. Let me turn on the old castle. So you can see this is our staircase going down. Super fun. There are issues. There's certainly issues. I actually had to extend. I forgot about that. I had to end up extending further inward after that initial sort of square because it was too tight. I couldn't fit going downwards in just this tiny square area. So I actually ended up having to expand on it quite a bit, actually. And it kind of sucks. I can't believe I'm going to have to remodel that. Great. Super fun. So, another pile for the texturing, of course. So, I'm going to... Let's go to turn off the floor layer, turn off the side room layer. I'm going to have to go to Edge, insert Edge Loop. Put that in there. I'm going to have to re-UV and retexture this, but that's fine. It wasn't that bad before, although I did, if I remember correctly, it was kind of stupid. Boy. So, let's figure out where this goes. After I move this back over to the left, because it's... Really? Oh my god, it won't drag there. Jeez. So, I need to figure out how high. So, at 0, it is 0.5. Probably get away with 0.25, I think. Nothing terrible. Okay, let's go to face. Extrude face. Make it 2.5. Negative 2, not 0.25, 2.5. Cool. So that is our new wonderful, beautiful, perfect in every way, of course, underground area. So now our task is going to be actually filling this up. So let's change its width. I think I made it, what was it, 2.5? No, it's 2. It was 2. So that means that half of that is 1, which is exactly what it was already. Go figure. 4.25. Move this over here. And I really, really need to see if I can find a script for Maya LT that just lets you make stairs easily, because, oh my god, modeling these things, it's atrocious. It's just so bad trying to model them. They're not hard, they're just really, really frustrating. Um, really, really tedious. -10, is that too much? No. Perfect. Great. Good. That's what I want. Okay. Next. Let's add another one. So here, this is going to be our base. So the first platform that you descend to. Um, 3.75. Let's go down. Do that there. And then let's go further inward. Let's give our depth 0.75, I think. That would be about 0.75. Okay. Let's go to negative 0.75 for the height as well. It's going to be super hard to see properly. Let's change our depth to be... Ooh, 2? Oh, that's subdivisions. That's not what I wanted. 2? That's too much, I think. Slightly too much. Oof. This is the other reason I don't like this part particularly. Let's go to 1.75. Okay. Oh, bam. Perfect. Let's change this width to be 2. And our height to be 0.25. Nice. That's still pretty thick. Jeez. 0.2. Okay, let's move this up here. 0.55. Oh, why? Negative 0.55. What just happened? Negative 0.55. Okay. I think that's about right. Nope. It's negative 0.6. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now comes the super fun part of changing my subdivisions. So there are a couple of ways that I could do this. I'm just going to go wholesale and manually and make a basically for stairs. You can't just make the stair object itself. You also have to make a collider object, because colliders or character controllers going upstairs, you get this very like bumpy effect, and that makes people not feel well for one. But also it makes the screen just like jump everywhere and it looks bad. So you have to make the model for the actual the stairs, the visible part, and then you have to make an invisible model that is the collision. And the collision is a lot smoother. In fact, it's basically just a ramp. So for this, we're going to model out the main part first, which actually, let's move this down 0.2, I think. Oh my, 0.2 is not a lot. Let's move down 0.1. That's better. And the reason I wanted to do that is because we have our side room and then the floor layer. So we have our tiling, and we're going to step down onto that, and then we're going to want to start stepping downwards. So from here, we actually want to go to subdivisions width. Will be none, actually. But subdivision height, we'll do 5, let's say. Oh, no, more than that. 7. 7's pretty good. And subdivision's depth is going to be 14. That's a bit much. I lied. 7. 7's pretty close. So basically these are going to be our faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are our stairs. Everything above that line is going to get deleted, and everything below it will sort of be awkwardly smoothed out. Because of course it will. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off my side room layer and my floor layer, and I'm also going to go ahead and stick this in my... Hold on. Where's my floor layer? There we go. Are you kidding me? Really? Object mode, there. Floor layer. Add selected objects. Good. So now, we can go from the side here, zoom in. So let's go ahead and select all of these. Nice. Hit delete. Bam! So next, and this is the other fun part about stairs, a lot of this stuff ends up just not being useful, so we delete a lot of it, but I can't quite delete all of it and then bridge. I have to delete, bridge, then delete. So edge, let's do this, Control Shift, no, just Control B. Why is my, okay, I'm gonna see if I can, I think it's edit mesh, bridge, let me change subdivisions to be 1, hit apply, close. Oh no, dang it! Edit mesh. Bridge. Subdivision should be 0. Apply. So there are some options. The last options you've entered for these parameters in the actual sort of menu for a tool get saved. So every time you make something, it'll just automatically apply those settings. And I guess at some point I set it to be 5, or it could just be when I upgraded to Maya 16. This is what it was, but I only need 1 most of the time. And then this contextual menu pops up later to help things along, but I don't need that right now, so or I don't need to worry about it most of the time. So while we're doing this super fun process of me making a staircase, been playing some Tales of Symphonia, or not Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Zestria. I wanted to call it Vesperia. Still kind of on the fence. Not a bad story. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I'm not too fond of the story. It's kind of dumb. Which I know some of you are going to be like, well, it's a Tales game. The stories have always been kind of dumb. Yeah, that's true, but I just don't like the way that they're doing the story right now. So old Tales games... Oops. Oh, dear. That's not good. Of course. Dang it! I don't know how to stick it back. Oh, Maya. Maya. How do I... Okay, fine. Whatever, I'll figure that out later. I have not figured out how to dock things properly. Like that, apparently. Just magic. Okay, sure. Whatever. Anyway, back on topic. So that... Okay, good. Making sure. So I'm careful about this. Then I can just go... Whoop. Of course, it's still selected 1. But everything else is fine. I can just hit delete. Except I can't. Because I'm stupid. So I almost forgot. Before I do any of that, I want to connect all of my vertices that I need to. Anyway, like I was saying, Tales of Zestria, it's not bad. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do it here. There we go. It's not bad. I'm not a huge fan of the story, just because of the way that it's presented. You have a main character, and like, seriously, from the get-go, it's like, you're so special. You're a special snowflake, and the entire world needs you. I'm like, no, that's dumb. Like previous Tales games, it's always like you're some kid, or your friend is the special one, or someone you know. Hold on, let me think. In order of the ones I've played, your friend is a special one. You're just some rich brat. Um, oh my god, I've played way more than that. You're just some dude. I guess was kind of what Tales of Xillia was. You're just some dude um, who happens to run into the other main character, basically. Um, and I like that way of presenting things because it feels a lot more, I guess, authentic. I don't know if that's the correct term, honestly. But God, when you're just starting out and everyone's like, "Oh, you're so special and so amazing," and "Oh, we love you," just like, no, don't do that. It's just, So yeah, there are some problems with the story. The gameplay is solid. Combat system is the Tales combat system. I don't know if it's still called Free Limbs, but at some point it was called Free Limbs, and I love how they just kept trying to make limbs turn into other words. Um, but yeah, it's a good game. If you liked other Tales games, you'll like or not Vesperia, Zestria. It's competent. Um, Plus, I haven't played a good JRPG in a long time, so it's nice. It's a good thing to relax and play. So there is our staircase. Hooray! Let me turn on floor layer, I think. So, bam. Everything's in there. Oh, and actually, let me turn off floor layer, and I gotta get rid of these. Turn on camera-based selection. Not that it matters, really. Now I can delete that. And the reason I delete that is because those are facing the wall. So I turn on my floor layer. They're going to be facing the wall, therefore there's no need for them. They would literally just be a waste. There would be no reason for them. So, but every other face is actually visible from the get-go, so they're important to have. Although this top one actually isn't. Delete. So, nice, because I think I positioned that properly. Yes, I did. Perfect. So, there is our first staircase, and every staircase from now on is going to be the same one, but it's going to be different from this one. So basically, I'll make a new staircase, and then all I'll do after that is just duplicate and rotate it down a couple of levels, and then everything will just be fine. It's just that the initial setup is kind of frustrating. So similar to what we just did there, of course. First off, let me turn off the floor there. Go to face, and let's delete these because I don't need those faces since they are in walls. Hit OK, and before we move on, let's go ahead and do our normal automatic UVing. I'm just going to do this next part off screen because you guys already know what I'm doing. I'm just going to copy the UVs into a new UV set, then hit layout, then rename my current UV set to be the correct one. So doesn't take very long to do that anymore, and it's not doing anything special, so it's not terribly interesting for you guys. Although I guess that kind of makes me a bad host. I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing this and not telling you or not showing you, because apparently I'm just really bad at this sort of thing sometimes. Or I'm just too lazy to drag a single menu over to the right. I'll do it for when we do the other parts, I guess. So now we're going to make another cube. Boop. Let's move it over here. Can't move it. .25. Cool. Let's turn on our floor layer because I have to awkwardly judge this. And I'm going to go ahead and make another cube and move it over here. And this is going to be the connecting part that the second staircase is going towards. I think I said it to be 0.75 depth. Which means that this should be at 0.75 depth. 2 width, and then 0.2 height. This. Oh, really? Okay. Be like that. Sorry, I'm trying to line this up with the wall, and it's not wanting to cooperate. Anyway, so this is going to be super fun. Mostly because I'm kind of doing some awkward approximation here. So I got to line everything up. So let me turn off my floor layer. I got to line everything up, then scale it in such. Actually, you know what? I don't need the floor on to see this because I can just do it by eye as long as this is low enough. So this is going to be how long? 4. You're not quite that long. I have a side view. I should use it. Yeah, 4 is a little too long. 3.5 seems more up. Proper alley. Let's move this up. Yeah, 3.5. Cool. So Z. Okay, perfect. And then, of course, this should actually be a similar size to the I don't know why I can't talk. 0.15, I think, is what I want to do with this. Move this up a little bit. Sorry, I'm just kind of massaging correct numbers here, and it makes it a little awkward to concentrate. Which makes me a terrible, terrible, terrible host, I suppose. But we already knew that. Yeah, I just need something to talk about, I guess. I'm terrible whenever I have to think up topics on my own. So basically I'm twice as long as it was before. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 becomes 14. That looks about right. And then 14 high. Hold on. Let's 0 that. And then let's increase our size to be, let's say 2. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Make this 14. That's actually about the same. It's slightly too small, I think. No, it's all lined up perfectly. Okay, so that means that select this. Not gonna be camera based anymore. Basically, this is what our shape's gonna look like. Delete. Nice. And then object mode. Let's move this down to about here. It's 0.85. Right. Nice. Okay. And that also means I'm going to change this height to be 0.15. Oh, really? Really? Oh, isn't that funny? 0.82. What a weird number. Oh, it's 0.825. Okay, that makes more sense. There we go. Nice. Okay, got everything in order. Whew, took long enough. It's a quarter after. We'll finish up the staircase tonight, I think, and then that'll be it for tonight's stream. Uh, so, trying to think if there's any other thing interesting to talk about. Man, I do enjoy whenever people show up, just because they give me something to talk about, as opposed to just trying to come up with things on the spot. I'm terrible at that. Makes me very, very boring as a host. Save on that. Good there. Mostly because a lot of this is pretty samey. Nothing too spectacular going on. I guess actually I could go ahead and delete these sides at least. Oh, nope, I can't actually, because I almost forgot again to do this. Gotta connect everything on the odd side. Ain't that just kind of annoying? So, well, we'll delete it and then I'll show you guys. Probably be easy to fix, but select this, then connect them, and then boom. So now let's go ahead and get rid of all of this crap. Oh, it's the silence. The deafening silence of airtime. Ta-da! Perfect. Ship it. It's ready to go. We're done. No, I'm kidding. Edge. Control B. Edge. Control B. Can I do multiple ones? Because that would be nice. How good I can. Well, that makes things a lot easier. Boom. Super fast. Okay, we're getting pretty fast at this. I wonder if I can just do this. It would be nice if I could. Bam! Hooray! Look at that. But yeah, you might see my problem here, which is kind of just got a part hanging up here at the top, just kind of sitting there, not really doing much. I could leave it as is, which is what I think I did before, or I could expand the height of the part above it so that it wraps more smoothly. And I might do that, just because I like that idea a little bit more. So we're going to change this from a cube of 0.15 to a cube of 0.3. And then this will go down to 0.575. Oh dear. All kinds of screwed up. We're getting closer. Really? Alright. There we go. Perfect. So that way we get a much nicer transition. It looks smoother when we're going down, which is what I would prefer. So we're going to change this. Set its height to be 0.3 as well. Then set its y to be 0.9. 9. Aha, perfect. All right. So now, first, let's go ahead and do. Oh, I almost forgot. Face. That. Only got 2 faces selected. Good. If I hit delete, bam, it's gone. Good. Just gotta do this stuff now. And bam, gone. Uh-oh. Accidentally got one on the other side. Cool. So now we got our faces that are facing walls. They are gone. Hooray. Hip hip hooray. Let's go ahead and do automatic projection. It's good. I'll bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Get our faces, select them all, polygons, copy, move to new UV set. Then we're going to lay them out. So you can see that really jumbled things up. But what it does is it basically tries to calculate the maximum size that it can give everything when you're laying out. That way it can have the highest resolution on any sort of light map that you give it. So we go back. I'm going to go ahead and again rename current UV set, which pops up on my left screen. And it's just saying, what do you want to name it? And it always defaults to light map, or texture map, sorry. So this is our texture map. This is our light map. Light map looks a little more jumbled, but that's fine. It's because it's a light map. It doesn't have to reference the texture. It just has to be between 0 and 1 positioning. So now we can minimize that. Oops. We can do the same thing here. Let's pull this up. Face, select it. Polygons, copy into new UV. Polygons, layout. With the stupid. Let's go back. Rename. Rename current UV set, that's fine. Apply, close, then bam, got a texture and our light maps, which look exactly the same, basically. So now, what I can do is I can duplicate this, and so I gotta rename my stuff real quick. I'm also gonna edit, delete history, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna rename it to be stairs A. Oh, dang it, that just did the shape. Here we go. Stairs A. There we go. Rename this to be stair platform A. Polykey 3. Let's edit, delete history. Stairs B. Up to here, delete its history. Let's go to cube 4, edit, delete history again, and then stairs platform B. Platform. Can't spell apparently. Okay, so now we basically have everything we need to make the rest of the thing work. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my floor layer just to make sure that everything's kept in bounds properly. Yes, that looks nice. Make sure that's in there. Yes, that looks nice as well. Cool. So now the only thing I have to really do is duplicate these shapes and position them appropriately. So let's turn off our floor layer again. And we are going to just select this, Control D, rename it to be stairs C. So this is our thing. Hit W. We are going to rotate Y, 0, or 180. We're going to position it one more to the right. Oh, really? Since these are one thing down. So let's position this properly. It's going to be about -375, I'm guessing. It's a little close. 385 maybe. No, 39. Yeah, that looks more appropriate. Cool. So now I can actually just grab basically everything through here, hit duplicate, and then drag this stuff down. Down, 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 down. 2 point. Let's try this and hope it doesn't go over wrong. Negative 6.25. 6.25. Oh, dang it. I knew it would do that. Ah! Why can't you... Let's see if this will work. Nope. What's the point of being able to group select and having a central pivot if you can't do anything to the central pivot itself? Oy, go figure. Well, I might actually copy that, delete. Cool. So instead, I'm going to be lazy and do this. Get all that. Group it. Oh, except I didn't group it. Control G, I think. Bam, that gives me a group. Which is, of course, off center, which is fine. This is just going to be temporary anyway. So we're going to duplicate that group. Then let's move that group down. It's way over here. What is it? Point negative 2.5, I bet. Really, a little bit further down. All right, perfect. Right there. So now, let's move this stuff back up to here. Delete group 1. Save. There's group 2. We are going to also turn on the floor. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So it is really close to the bottom there, which might be fine. That is fine, actually. So we have to go down far enough that it's not a sudden transition when you start going downwards, but not so far that we have to make the floor like super deep. So instead, I'm going to move these things out of the group that they were in. I'll show you what I was doing because I've got to get used to this. So this is stairs C, which we already have stairs C right there. And oh man, it freaking reorganized everything I just did. Ugh, because of course it did. So, let's rename this to stairs B, because I did these backwards apparently. So this is stairs B. This is stairs C. Platform A, platform B, that is correct. So stairs C is here. Stairs D. Stairs platform, that is going to be D as well. Stairs B, that's going to be stairs E. And this is going to be stair platform A, B, C. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. So basically, we come in at the top here. We'll go down one flight of stairs, and then this third flight of stairs will be our level transition. I stick the other 2 flights in there in case they get a weird camera angle somehow. It's incredibly unlikely, but if they do, we have something for them to look at that looks like it's an actual staircase. So that will go down. Yeah, that's actually a perfect size. That's great. So the last thing I need to do is Control-Shift-G, make a new group, call this passage stairs. Move it over here to be -10, I think. then, oh, y is negative 3 point, no, 3.5, I think. Right? Really? Further over still. Okay, 3.75. Cool. And then, that's good enough. So now I'm going to pull all of these stairs into the passage stairs. Boom. Cool. And then this is actually going to go in the castle side room. So now I can turn on the side room layer. And, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's going to go in the secret passage. Turn off the side room layer. Turn on the floor layer. And actually, object mode, let's remove selected object, turn the floor layer off, and then let's go ahead and just have a passage layer, which I'm surprised I don't have. But layers, create layer from selected. That is passage layer. Save. If I toggle that off, bam. Okay, cool. So, hooray! All of our staircases, or our staircase, is modeled, UV'd, not properly textured UV'd, but it's ready for texturing. So that means if we turn on throne room, side room, and floor, we have our bed, our can't think, our chest, and our staircase are all modeled out. The only things I have left are a redo of the can't talk. A redo of the bookcase and a redo of, or not a redo, but the actual throne itself. And I might be able to finish that up before tomorrow at some point. So for tomorrow's stream, we'll be able to texture all of these things, hopefully. Maybe not, honestly, because it seems to take me about an hour for a texture for some reason, at least for the doors. That could also be because I was actually making a brand new texture, and maybe it just took me a long time. But yeah, we're chugging along pretty well. Hopefully, I'll be able to crank this out before the end of this weekend. But for now, I think that's a pretty good place to stop, and we will pick up texturing tomorrow. So.